Hey guys, we're back at it again, doing another episode, 3J's Live. Had a pretty good episode last week. What's up, Andy? Vex Pro Inc. How are you? We had a pretty good episode last week. Bunch of subscribers, viewers jumped in, opened up some good stuff from King Shocks. Had Thomas Grice from the New York Islanders on. Had a great little interview with him about his Raptor we built for him. We have another good special guest today. Get to that in a little bit. All right. Guess we'll dive into it. So we threw it out on social media. What do they want to talk about? We had a good, a couple things come at us. One good topic was fuel injection conversions. Pretty modern topic now. You see all these cars on TV, all these discovery shows. They're all getting LS3s, LT1s, dropping Hemis and things. It's great if you got 20, 30,000 just for those builds. Gets a little costly. So what's your other alternative? Couple good manufacturers out there with a long history. Holley, Edelbrock, Phytech. They're all making fuel injection systems that mimic the carburetor look. Really nice setups. We have one of our friends and customers, Biagio from Fortunato's Bakery in Brooklyn. If you're over there in Williamsburg area, definitely stop by. Hit him up for some great pastries, espressos. But we've been talking to him for a little bit. He's been looking for something old. Waiting for the viewers to come back. I don't know what happened there. It just cut out on me. We'll get this going again. So, talking to a good friend about doing a fuel injection conversion on something he's looking into buying. You can keep the carburetor. It's good stuff. Definitely nothing wrong with carburetors. They're tried and true. You start running into a few problems. The new E10 or ethanol, 10% ethanol fuels, they start to play a little havoc on things. Clogging the jets, wearing things down. Your car's not running right. There's a bunch of additives you could throw into there to stabilize that. But here comes the aftermarket. You buy old school Mopar, old school Camaro, Mustang, whatever it may be, the old fuel injection engine, carbureted engine. I want to use the car every day. All right. If you got a carburetor, jumping in it on those cool damp days, they're a pain in the butt to start. It's just not fun stuff. Reliability issues. So here comes the fuel injection. You slap on the throttle body that looks like a carburetor. You run a couple lines and 3-4 wires and you're done. We're actually looking, we actually have a customer coming in after this whole Corona mess with a 70 El Camino, loves to drive his car. New York City car, has drivability issues in the city. We're going to set him up with a Holley Sniper EFI system. If you look at that and a carburetor side by side, you're not going to see big of a difference. It's going to give him reliability. It's going to give him, a little more performance. And the best thing is he can drive his car without any worries. Just if it was a 2018, whatever. Start it up, go. We've done them in the past. I delivered one It was a cold, rainy day. Turned the key, started up. Owner took delivery, kept on going. No issues, no worries, no problems. It's just really good stuff. The aftermarket's really catered to it because now you say, well, what do I got to do? Do I got to change my fuel tank, fuel pumps, call up Holly, full drop-in tank units? So even that old high-value car that you have, I don't want to cut it up. You don't have to cut it up. Change the tank, put that aside, clean it out nice. Most old cars, you're going to change the tanks anyway because they're 40. All right, we're dying out again. I don't know why this keeps happening today. Could be the weather. Could be everybody's on the internet because what else do they got to do? So touching back, the fuel injection conversions, you don't have to cut up the car. You don't got to chop it up. Full replacement tank units, the lines, they go right in. So it's, really simple, non-hack up type of situation. So you could have the performance and the quality of something new in something old. So it works. We'll be posting, once this all goes back to normal, we'll be sharing the videos and the photos of the car that we're doing, the 70 El Camino. It'll be good times. Rolling into that, one thing that, we're all known for, in the shop, everybody thinks, 3J's Auto lighting. Yeah, we do much of it. We do it pretty good. We have fun doing it. A lot of products we use. We do use Oracle. We see them on the banner right behind us. Diode Dynamics, XK Glow. We use the stuff that works. We use the stuff that we know won't give you any issues. But you put the lights in, how do you control it? That's a big question. A couple of years ago with SEMA, we went to the XK booth and we saw what they were working on. And I was blown away by this controller. Ever since then, it's the only thing I use. Gave you a little peek in the preview yesterday. Is it? Here's your LED controller, RGB. Really about the size of a credit card. Put this thing anywhere. This is one of the most funnest controllers I've used. It's really, really good stuff. The functions of it, when I'm doing demos for cars that I'm delivering, we go through 1, 2, 3, couple things, the click wheel, just the general colors. Then we get into the patterns. Picks up by speed, music. There's really not one controller on the market that will do a lot of the same stuff that this does, plus for the size of it. It's really good. Tuck it away anywhere. The coolest thing is the ability to overlap them. We've gone anywhere from, 2 channels all the way up to, I think I've done 7 or 8 on my man Carlos's Jeep. We have another one coming through. I think we got 6 or 7 coming through. It's the ability to control every channel by itself. You could truly make your car a rainbow. It's kind of cool. Just being able to throw different colors in different areas. A lot of cars, we'll do the underglow, we'll do the headlights, a little grill light. You want to be patriotic, you can do the underglows in red, do the grill in blue, do the headlights in white. Get a little flag thing going, or whatever it is you like. The nice thing is with the XK controller, That is really killing me today, but we're going to keep on getting through it. We're not going to just hold it down. We're talking about the XK controller. The one thing that I really love about it is the connections. There's no cutting, no splice wires, plug and play. If you do have using another company's products, they do give you a little plug, little clippy wires into it, plug them right in. Beautiful. Waterproof, simple use, a lot of good stuff. You get the 2 channels off there, 1 controller. You got the little plug that you plug in your power into. This way you have full modular control of everything. You do a little more if you want to throw a lot of stuff on it. We use their line boosters. It also gives you the availability to make your car one big turn signal. Like we did with Carlos's, yes, excellent controller indeed. With Carlos's car, when we did the underglow, we split it half left, half right. So when he puts on the blinkers, half the car is blinking orange. Do the other side, when you go left and right. Even when you hit the brakes, the whole bottom of the car lights up red. Adds safety, makes it look cool. Definitely good stuff. You can get them through us. If you want just a controller, we've had people doing it on their own, or if you come into the shop. We actually just saw a good video this morning. That Aventador out of California, LA, does a lot of great charity work with her car. We set her up with a set of lights and a controller to go with her Aventador. Definitely check it out. She does a lot of charity work. She lights it up. Had a pretty cool photo of that a couple years back in Vegas with Elvis. Car was all lit up, her Lamborghini Aventador. Fun stuff. So we're getting our stuff out all over. It's a special guest. Yes. So last week we had Thomas Grice from the New York Islanders. This week we've called up, we reached out to a friend. We built a car for him. We have a recording artist. I always butcher your name, Sal. I'm sorry. Sal Abruscato. I probably killed it again. Former drummer for Typo Negative, in Life of Agony. His current band, A Pale Horse Named Death, is out everywhere. Stream him, YouTube, whatever it is. He's out there. Definitely give him a check. It's good stuff. Brooklyn guy, big car guy, loves his Mopars. We're going to try and get him on here now. Hang on. We got the little circle thingy. There we go. We're gonna wait for him to jump in. There we go. Hey, Sal, how you doing? What's going on, Sal? This is killing me today, but we're not throwing in the towel. All right, this is killing me today, but we're not throwing in the towel. We're waiting for the people to come back. Let's try and get...
It's killing me.
I don't know what's going on today. It's crazy. It's a rough day. Yes, Kenny, I don't know what's going on.
What are you doing to me, Joe?
It's killing me. I don't know. It's Corona. It's getting to us all. So we got...
You're in Long Island.
What was that? All right. So Sal's a big car guy.
You're in Long Island. That's why everybody into...
Hey, listen, I don't know what's going on, man. It's crazy. Sal's a big Mopar guy, loves his Mopars. If you follow his page, you see he's always working on something. We're going to take it back to the very beginning, Sal. What sparked your interest in cars?
I was from the age of like 12, 13, I started stealing my father's cars.
That's the Brooklyn way to do it.
Driving without a license.
Hey, listen, That's how they did it in Brooklyn. There's nothing wrong with that. It's all good.
You want to know something? I actually learned the first vehicle I ever drove was a Fiat manual transmission.
That's tough.
Uncle had it, and he was making me drive it. I was age 13.
It's a good way to learn. I tell you, manual transmissions is definitely a lost art.
It's the only way to drive.
All right. So we stealing the cars, easy way to go. Jumping in Dad's car and everything. How did you come to love Mopars so much?
I always liked them. Actually, my first vehicle I actually owned was a 1980 Dodge van. It had carpeting in it too.
Nice. I hope it wasn't shag carpet.
It was.
That's definitely bringing it back to the day.
I used to ask people to hang out, smoke weed, girls.
You do that nowadays, people look at you funny.
But I had a moment with Chevys as well, because I know you're a Chevy guy. I had in 1991, I had a 73 Stingray, which I loved it. I had a Corvette Stingray. That was a cool car. I do regret selling that, but I was, we all do dumb things in life. But I always enjoyed the Mopars. Always wanted one. Wish I knew when I was a teenager what I know now. I would have started buying them back then, because they're worth a fortune now. And, Dodge over the years had its heyday, and then it dropped, and then they were making garbage for a while.
Yeah, we won't talk about the 80s. That was a rough year for Mopars. Instagram is killing me today. Waiting to go back with Sal. Kenny, my phone is not on airplane mode. Oh, put my phone on airplane mode. All right, we'll try that, Kenny. We'll see how that... Kenny, I'm not getting anything. My phone is off. I think it's my connection. I don't know why. Let's see if we... Wi-Fi networks. What's going on here? Kenny, I got all this work. Nah. All right, maybe this was on the bad network. Let's try again. Hang on. Now back. 9 times a charm. All right, Sal. Hopefully this will work. We're on network. Hopefully we got it straightened out.
This is making my day.
Technology. It's supposed to work for you.
Yeah, let's just slow down.
Yeah. All right. We know you're a lover of Mopars. You do have a few of them. What do you currently have in your collection?
I have a 1967 Dodge Coronet with a 383 big block. I have, as obviously you worked on it, the 2015 Shaker RT, supercharged, super deluxe, Joe's Special.
We'll get into that.
I got a 2016 Charger, and I'm sitting in my 2020 Dodge Bighorn. Yeah, Bighorn 1500.
Pretty good array of Mopars. You got it all covered there.
I just sold. I had the 69 Dart. I sold that in November. So
that was nice. That was very clean.
Yeah, a guy drove all the way from New Hampshire with a rental car, and he drove that car. I had that car tweaked so good, he drove it 5 hours back to New Hampshire. No problem.
Nice. You definitely do take care of your cars very, very well.
Thank you, sir.
Did you have to talk your wife into being the driver of a Mopar? Did she have something else? You got the whole family, the whole collection. So she's obviously got to have some. Did you have to talk her into one, or she kind of shares the love too?
It grew on her because when I met her, she used to have back in Arizona a Ford. She was a Ford girl. So she had a Ford pickup back in Arizona, that manual transmission too. She knows how to drive a stick. And,
that's quality.
So I think over time, though, finally in the last bunch of years, we were able to start getting Mopars one by one, and I have a little bit of a problem because I'm always on Marketplace. If I had my way, I'd be buying. I saw a car yesterday I wanted to get. It's a problem of mine, and instead of buying things for the house and things that I need to do, I'd rather dump money into a car. So maybe I need to go to rehab.
You know what? They got to have something. They got to have some type of car rehab. They got it for everything else, but cars are the big problem. They're a big money pit.
Seems like the older I get, too, the more addicted I am. I think because I'm really more hands-on than ever now because I have the space to have a lot of stuff. You were the only guy one of the only people that ever worked on the cars because I like to do everything else myself, as much as possible. So
yeah, we do see you in the garage, always tweaking with the cars, playing with them. I know you did a lot on the Coronet. We see a lot of posts you do and stuff with that.
You were talking about fuel injection. I didn't do that, but I actually picked up an Adelbrock ABS 650 CFM carburetor that has.
All right, Sal, I'm going to bring you back. This is killing me.
I think it's saturated.
I think this might be what it is too. I have no idea why. We'll give this one more try. We'll see how it goes. Where are we at? All right, so your Coronet. Tell us about your Coronet.
Next week.
Yeah? We'll see how it goes. If we gotta do that, we do that. It's no problem. Where are we going, right? All right, so tell us about your Coronet.
I got it about 5 years ago, and what attracted me to it was that it was a California car. It was built in the Los Angeles plant, and it was sold at a dealership in Santa Monica called Claude Shorts, and I actually got the historical information from Fiat Chrysler archives that they sent for free. Yeah, they sent me an image of the IBM card from the factory, which is what they had in '67 prior, because, you've heard of the broadcast sheet.
Sure, absolutely.
Later, yeah. Well, before 1968, I think it was, they weren't doing the broadcast sheet. They were doing something called an IBM card that looked like one of these, computer, punch-outs. And they would punch out these little holes in the corresponding details of what the car came with, so it would correspond with the fender tag and all that. Anyway, the car was really clean. It was dry to the bone, no rot, no problems, and then I was able to take it from there and bring it to the next level, which is you can eat off the underside. We've replaced a lot of stuff, though. Like you were talking about gas tanks. I put in a new gas tank last year, stainless lines. It's got TTI headers. It's got the works, as far as it's got pipes, stainless steel exhaust. I converted it to disc brake in the front. It's got a Hemi Bendix booster, brake booster, Hemi leaf springs, high performance leaf springs in the back. And it's the car, rebuilt the whole front end. It rides. You could drive that car 70 miles an hour. We put in a Borgeson steering box, too, which is 14-to-1 ratio. So now you can drive that car 70 miles, and you don't have this old school Mopar slop like you drive in a boat. It shoots like a dart. You can let go of the wheel, and So I'm very proud of the car, and that's a car I hope to never have to sell for any reason, because I really I enjoyed it. To me, it looks like a little Matchbox car that I used to have. So it's badass.
Awesome. So why car? What was that?
The back seat is really big. It used to be fun in those days to hang out with somebody in your car, I guess.
Yes, that's definitely the old school thing.
Yeah.
So why a Coronet instead of the typical Charger, Roadrunner, Cuda?
Hard to find.
Yeah, the market is pretty hard.
I found that car in Atlanta. It was in Atlanta in a dealership, and I had it shipped up to me. And I really fell in love with the color scheme of the B. It was a B3 blue, which is not the original color. It was repainted at one time, maybe 20 years ago, and it has the white top, the white interior. So it's got like this muscle look, but very classy at the same time.
Sure.
It's almost like a gentleman's muscle car, but it's a sleeper because then under the hood it's got the 383 that's all nice and clean, and it's just I kind of fell in love with the rear, the tail, and I love the front end. Because the front end does have a little bit of a Charger type of vibe. And, but again, Charger, I love Chargers. I'd love to get one, but to buy a roached out complete rust bucket for 20 grand and then have to dump another 20, 30 grand.
Yeah, the market on those are very tough. They definitely are.
Graveyard cars and Barrett Jackson. Anyone that has one of these rust buckets that are roached out, they want a lot of money for it. And what happens is people end up sinking 30, 40 grand into restoring a car like that, and it was a 318 car from the factory. So it's not going to even have any value anyway.
Right.
Like all the money you do to it. You got to find the 444 speed RT, and that's where the money is. But
yeah, those are definitely going for six figures.
And same goes for Cuda. Cuda's another one. You find a 340 motor in a Cuda that's a Hemi Cuda or just a regular Cuda with a 340. They want a lot of money, and then you got to sink a lot of money. So I had to find a compromise also, and it actually didn't land in my lap. I've seen these cars around, but they're a lot of money. And one day I'll get one, but it's got to be the right. They just keep going up too. This is the problem. So
they do.
You wait, every year I noticed, even now I see people selling, like even my car, which is a Model 440, the value's going up. They want more and more money every year because they're hard to find. And, the deal.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's happening with Chevys too. It's happening with the Fords. It's happening with the Chevys. But the Mopars were produced less. And that's why they're commanding a high dollar. They made millions of Camaros. Sorry, Joe. They made millions of them.
It's true. It's definitely true.
Versus in 1968, they only made 65,000 Chargers. In 69, they actually made like 69 and 772. And the 70 Charger was only 35,000 they made.
Yeah. The numbers. Sure. Now you get into the 100,000 Camaros back in 69 and 70, and there's a ton of them. So the market, they're a lot easier to find, and even them, they're still getting astronomical numbers.
And the aftermarket, for example, anyone that wants to do a Mustang, that's the best car to do because CJ Pony sells everything in the world for a Mustang. Now they caught up with the Chargers and these the 70 through 74 Challengers. There's a lot of aftermarket stuff, but for example, my Coronet, you can't find. You have to get old parts and restore them.
Yeah, you do find a very big hole when it comes to the Mopar aftermarket. You got a couple models and it just drops off, and good luck finding them. You go in the swap meets and hoping and praying.
Because Chrysler destroyed all the tool dies in the with the whole oil embargo. They didn't think about the future, so they destroyed a lot of tool dies. So now you have companies like AMD. They're trying to reproduce it, but because of patents and stuff like that, that has to be off by a little, so they don't get copyright infringement or whatever it is. All this technical legal stuff.
All right. So last year we got to collaborate on a build. You brought us your 2015 Challenger RT Shaker for a couple little things. We threw a Magnuson supercharger onto it, some Granatelli coils, Wilwood disc brakes. We got you a custom one-off boost gauge for it, APR splitter, Granatelli cutouts, and we can't forget, of course, the custom Helby badges. We drove it a little bit, testing it beforehand. we knew before we gave it to you, that car was, your vision of that car, what we put together was perfect. I mean, you can't really ask for anything better. What's your favorite part of the build?
Oh, man, I took it out before this Corona stuff got really crazy. About 3 weeks ago, I took her out. And my favorite thing to do is just drive with the cutouts open, first of all. That, hands down, cutouts must be open and dumped because it just sounds like a monster, especially because it's manual transmission. Second of all, the car, the one time I brought it to some of its potential was when I was taking it home from your place in Brooklyn, where I accidentally got a speeding ticket in Manhattan, and then I got caught. I realized I was doing 103 miles an hour on the throughway, and I went, "Oh my God, I'm going to lose my license with this car." Yeah, I've literally done on Main Street where it's there's a section where it's 55 miles an hour, and I had my daughter with me a few times, and I would hit 80, 90 miles an hour in a heartbeat, and my daughter would be like, "You're going to get in trouble." And the car is just, that supercharger is hands down, it's off the hook. And I love it. And I love the way it looks because it's kind of like you open the hood and then you got to like really look. Like only a guy that has a Challenger will spot it right away. You got a little pulley underneath the shaker. But otherwise, you wouldn't know. And
yeah, it is. It's a very stealthy build.
It looks stock. And you open the hood up, there's a... I had it at one fireman's thing last year at the 845 Mopar Club. The group that they invited me to. I took her to this fireman's charity, whatever, car show. Brought it there. And everyone sees Hellcats and everyone sees all these other cars, but for some reason that car was turning heads because, first of all, I was like, where did this sound come from? Because of the cutouts. Then you got that APR splitter, which I love also. That car's hot. From the front end, you can't deny it. And then when you open the hood and people are walking around and they see this pulley, they're like, what's that? And then they look under and they see this actual proper blower because, everyone's doing this pro charger business.
Stick it on the front.
Yeah, it's easy to spot because it's off to the side. But that Magnuson looks like a proper, just like the Hellcats motor with a proper charger on top of the intake. And but the difference is I don't think I've ever seen or heard about another shaker going around New York yet with a
there isn't many.
I don't think there is, and it was turning heads when it was at that car show. If I drive down the street, everyone's rubbernecking because they just don't know what it is. Is it a Demon? Is it a Hellcat? Is it, is it a Scat Pack? Is it just, you don't know what it is because the unique badges on the side and the fact that the shakers don't have any badging on it, really makes people wonder, well, this is a special car. Definitely has a custom thing going on. Just can't quite pin finger on it is probably what they're thinking. But for a hot second there, I'm a moody guy, so like for a hot second I was like, well, I was thinking at one point maybe to sell it, but then I said I can't sell it. I took her out for a ride and I walked in the house and I told my wife, there's no way I'm selling this car. The car still has, I'm almost at 2,300 miles on the odometer. So the car's literally brand new still, literally brand new. You open it up, it smells like the dealership. So I love the car. Sometimes when I think I am negligent where I stay away from the cars too long because, the winter time, everything gets locked away and then life takes over. You forget about the toys and you forget what you got. You don't know what you have sometimes until you open up and shake everything up a little bit. And like I said, I drove it 3 weeks ago, which was one of the first times. I think I've done it a couple of times since the winter got a little bit mild. We've been having crappy weather again. It's raining, and now this Corona business, you got to worry about dying. It's
pretty much
nuts. So, it's just crazy. It's like a nightmare. It's like now the nice weather's coming. And you have to think twice about, okay, you can just cruise around, but you can't get out of the car and go anywhere. You got to be careful. So
that's true. Very true.
But the car's a beautiful machine. And you know what? I'm glad we did what we did to it because, yeah, you know, the pillar gate is the coolest thing in the world, too. That's a total, you know, you just glance over and it's right there. And sometimes I catch myself staring at it because I want to see it move when I gun it. But the combination of the car with everything that you did to it and then the little things that I added to it over the years is hands down to me. It's a badass, one-of-a-kind car.
Yes.
So, you know, Hellcats are awesome. Red Eyes are awesome. The Demons are all these cars are great. And I think Dodge has really come a long way with really being at the forefront of this whole game. But this car stands out on its own because it has a unique twist and flavor to it that you just can't buy off the showroom floor.
It's true. It's very true. It is your car in every sense of the way with it. You know, we took your vision, we ran with it, and that's pretty much it.
And I'll tell you, we still don't know the potential of the car. All I know is that when I took it out 3 weeks ago, the wheels chirped all the way until I got the fourth gear. So
yeah.
If I want to really get on it, I don't know what's going to happen. I might end up wrapping around the freaking going out of space or wrapping around a pole. It's really got a lot of torque. It's a lot of torque and it's a lot of power. And just to feel those rear wheels spinning through every gear as I'm just when I want to gun it and take off is crazy. It's awesome. I've never had a car do that. You know, like I said, I had a 73 Vet. That thing used to spin the wheels too, but it was an automatic. Automatics don't really tend to chirp through all the gears, but with the manual, you got those wheels spinning in every gear, and it's badass.
Cool. All right, I know we before doing it, we were kind of going back and forth. Maybe you should sell that, get it into a Hellcat or something like that. Having the 500 or so horse now versus 700-800 now that they got out. Do you feel the 500 makes for a better everyday car versus just all that power?
I mean, of course, more horsepower is always nice for many people. I think, though, sensibly, what the advantage of this vehicle is number one, you're not going to get hit with the crazy insurance premium. Number two, because Hellcats are through the roof. Number two, you can handle this car. You have a better chance of handling this car and not wrecking. How many pictures have you seen or videos you've seen of these newbie drivers that have money to go buy a Hellcat and they end up, I mean, you always seeing the motors for sale on pack because these cars are getting wrecked.
Yeah.
You got literally, there's a company, I think, out Midwest that you can get a pallet set up, ready to go.
Yep.
I forgot what they were called, but these cars are getting
they're
wrecked.
out of Ohio.
Yeah, exactly. And these cars are obviously getting wrecked because you get people that don't have the experience of how to gauge the car. They go to the gusto and they end up wrapping it around a tree. These cars at 700 to 800 to even, whatever they're getting to, I mean, these Demons to 1,000 horsepower with a fully change. I mean, you have to really have some training, I think. I think you need to have some instruction and training on how to handle the car when it wants to go out of control because these things are way too quick. So I think
they are.
I'm at a happy medium. I mean, maybe we're at around 5 and change, right? 5 and change horsepower. Like I said, I haven't even experienced the full potential of the car because you know what? Even at 500 horsepower, that's really fast. That's a lot of power, a lot of torque. And if you don't want to lose your license, if you don't want to kill yourself, you got to have some sensible appreciation and respect the power. And that's what it is. It's nice to know it's there. It's not there to be used all the time, and I think you really need to go enjoy and go to a track or, go somewhere where you're allowed to do these speeds on a straightaway and have ample space to not hit anything if you do lose it a little bit. So I think the car is an everydayer. I could imagine, leaving everyone in the dust on the way to work, but I don't commute to work in the city, so I don't really have to do that. So, but I think it's a great compromise versus what you get off the showroom floor at the same time, the savings you get with insurance, and you have the best of both worlds, and its drivability is more sensible. You know what I mean?
Now, when we were going through it, setting it up for the build, we were looking at different superchargers. We kind of settled on the Magnuson versus a Pro Charger. From what you've seen, and you're out there a lot, do you enjoy it more because it's got that top mount, versus having the Pro Charger that everybody just sticks on there?
I like it for number one, that reason. Number two, as we discussed, you told me it'd be more bottom end power, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I remember correctly. Number two, you open the hood and it looks like it belongs there. When you open the hood with a Pro Charger, it sticks out like a sore thumb. You got all this clipping and all this stuff going on. And it's obvious that it doesn't belong there. It was added. But with the Magnuson, it's on top. At first glance, it looks like it came with the motor. And it's nice and tight. It's clean. It looks good. And I'm glad we went that route. Because I know I hit you with that. I know I even brought it up. I said, Pro Charger.
Mm-hmm.
Blah, blah, blah. So I'm glad that we went the way we did. And then, I was a little nervous about the fabrication part of how we were going to get this shaker hood to sit the way it should, stock and everything. But it turned out to be amazing. And you know what? I open and close the hood, no problems. It looks great. You open it. Again, if you don't know what to look for, you're not going to notice the Magnuson.
And that's one of the nicest things about it.
Yeah, you look, you see that little pulley there, you go, oh, well, that's something extra special there. I think it's badass looking and clean and tight.
Yeah, that definitely is clean. Clean with that is definitely, an understatement where you look at it, and if you don't know, like you said, you can't see it.
No, because the shaker's on top. And now, if you just did it to a regular RT, it would be more noticeable. But because the shaker sits on top and it looks stock and the brackets are painted black and everything looks tidy, someone that doesn't know motors ain't going to notice it,
Right.
So I think that's one of the amazing points about the car is that it's a little bit more of a sleeper in certain ways. Yes, it's obvious it's a Challenger and it's going to be quick. But how quick, not everybody's going to know.
It's true. All right, now I know you kind of touched on it. I know we've talked about it before in the past, going back and forth. I think this is kind of a bad question because I don't think you ever have the car with the cutouts closed. How much do you really enjoy those cutouts? We did it the one-touch Granatelli, so you press the button, they open without any, issues. There are other companies you got to hold the button. You keep on doing it. The motors jam up. They break their garbage. People hate them. But yours, we did the one touch. Do you really open and close them, or are you just keeping them open? How much of a smile does it bring to your face when you just hear that hellacious roar?
When the car's in the garage, when I back the car into the garage, I close them just to not drive. Because sometimes maybe one of the kids is sleeping or something. So when I start the car in the garage, they're closed. As soon as it rolls out the garage, I open them, and they stay open until I come back. I drive by cops. I drive by anybody, and I don't care. They're open, they're dumped, and they're loud, and I rev it, and because of the manual transmission, it just has an even better, more intimidating roar than if it would be automatic transmission. But then, of course, when I'm back in the car, right as my rear end starts getting in the garage, I close them out of courtesy for the dogs and my wife and everybody. Because the garage is, connected to the house. And so, they can hear it in the house. I've done it. And they can hear it, and it rumbles. So that's my gig. So I'm always, plus I like to exercise them. I don't want to just leave them open and then maybe one day they stay, they stiffen up or something. I like opening and closing, making sure they work. Because if I do get pulled over, I am going to hit that button and close it. And I'm going to say, what are you talking about? It was the other guy. Asifa. Wasn't me, Asifa.
Yeah, really? What are they going to know?
Unfortunately, the PBN card won't help me up here if I do get in trouble, but I'll still tell them to call you.
You know what? I think with that, they'll give you a pass on it, though.
You know what? They all know me. They actually all know. Yeah, I'm in a small town, so they know the cars. They've seen the cars.
Sure.
I don't have front plates on either car, the Coronet or the Challenger. No front plates. They don't bother me. They like the cars. They like cops love cars.
Yeah.
And I love cars, to be honest with you. I've always made friends with cars, so yeah, it's a good thing. Yeah, and but I always wonder if someone's going to maybe hassle me about the dumps being open. The Grand Italian's being open, but I think she sounds so good that people just admire it. It's just it's a modern car with a hot rod sound.
It definitely is. I remember when we did when we first put them in, we sent you that little sample video, and just the sound of them, the night and day difference. I mean, the car really sounded like an absolute monster.
It was awesome. I was like a kid in a candy store, and that's why, me, you've been with me a few times, and again,
Sure.
I can be a pretty dark person. And I go in my moods, and sometimes I wake up and I'm like, fuck this, I'm selling everything, blah, 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 I don't know what I'm doing here. I get in my moods because, whatever. And then all it takes is for me to start it up and take a ride. And then I realize, oh, my God, this is my therapy. This is what keeps me from going postal. This is my little world in the garage, and
Mm-hmm. That's true.
It makes me happy to enjoy the cars, and that's probably part of the problem is I don't get to maybe always enjoy them enough, and I forget what I have in the garage, and so it's a matter of starting them up and taking a ride.
Cool. Well, Sal, I want to thank you for taking your time out with us today. We do appreciate, talking cars with us. We wish you and your family the best of health.
Oh, same to you.
Stay
safe. We think about you all the time because you got to work over there in Brooklyn.
It's we deal with it. We deal with it. We take it day by day, and we do hope for the best. For everybody who's watching, definitely go check out Sal's band, The Pale Horse Named Death. It's out on all streaming services. You can go check them out, download their records, Amazon, all the outlets and whatnot. Sal, thank you again. We'll talk to you soon.
Joe.
Stay safe up there.
Man.
All right. We'll talk to you later, Sal. Thanks, bud.
Bye. Ciao.
All right. I want to thank Sal again for joining us, talking Mopars. Awesome guys. Challenger, you could find it on my on the Instagram. We did a lot of good stuff to it. The pictures are all up on the Instagram. Check them out. We're gonna wrap it up for this week. We're gonna shoot another one next week. Please, guys, don't forget social distancing. Washing your hands. Just doing what we got to do to fight this corona. We need to get rid of it. Everybody's got to do their part so we can get back into the shop. Everybody can do their part. Boldar, we'll let him know. We'll definitely let Sal know. He's definitely still watching, so he sees it. So guys, again, please do what we got to do. Let's fight this corona. Wash your hands. Don't forget to sanitize your cars. We're going to throw a shout out to all the medical professionals in there who have no choice but to battle this on the front lines. They're doing God's work. So please, everybody do their part, stay inside, and we'll get through this together. So, thanks for checking me out. We'll do it again next week, and, we'll talk then. All right. Bye, guys.